put all that mask mandate back and open up everything at 100% capacity. So everybody wilding out here.
That's right, man. It's about to look like Florida, bro. Like spring break in Florida. Shoot. Um. Yeah. Were you there? Or obviously you live there in Texas, but did you hit that little snow blizzard or whatever that was, couple weeks back?
Yeah, it actually snowed where I'm at. I'm out here in Houston, so it actually snowed. A lot of stuff froze, and we didn't have power for like 2 or 3 days.
Damn, how was that for you? Did you
It,
manage?
it was actually bad. It was like it reminded me actually being back in prison because like in Texas and in a lot of the prisons we don't got AC and we don't got like heat that works. So like it kind of gave me like flashbacks of being locked up again.
Damn, you guys don't have they don't have AC up in that up in the prisons and stuff when it's like 100 some degrees.
Nah, in the Texas prisons, like there's no AC. So like you got to go to commissary and you got to buy you like a little personal fan for yourself. And
What?
basically all it's doing is blowing hot air back at you.
Right, exactly. Damn, bro, I'd be passing out because when I get hot for some reason, when I get hot, I'll like I've never passed out. But I have the need. It feels like I need to pass out just because it's so hot. I don't know how you did it, bro.
Yeah, I mean
Shoot.
you got to get used to it to be honest. And like you got to stay very hydrated. You got to drink a lot of water. But
Right.
I made parole and I left TDC at the beginning of 2018. But I know at the end of 2017, TDC was getting hit with a lot of lawsuits. And
Oh,
there's certain people who have heat restrictions. So TDC has a couple of units for like medical people and older people, and those units have AC on them. And there's a couple of units that have like drug programs, which I went to, and
right.
it was 6 months long. And basically, what happened was at the end of 2017, a lot of people with heat problems and heart problems, they were passing out due to the heat. They all filed a lawsuit against TDC, and they all got moved to the units that had like the AC. But one of my homeboys, he's still in TDC, and he told me by 2025, all the units in Texas are supposed to have AC. So we'll see how that
Wow, that's
goes.
good. That's good. About man, let me tell you, bro. That whole reform, the prison reform deal, that needs to be acted real quick because I mean now stuff, honestly, with the people that have phones in prison and stuff, they're exposing a lot of stuff that goes on.
Yeah,
And I mean it's kind of like I said, it's exposing stuff and making, the prison health requirements. It's just from what I saw, because I've never been in prison. I visited county jail. I visited someone in county, but other than that, like, man, it's brutal, bro. It's like literally like some like dog type kennel stuff, man. Like it's not humane at all.
uh,
Yeah, you have to punish people, but like there's a certain extent, you know what I mean?
it
What were you
kind of
saying?
depends on like the state you're in, also,
Okay.
and because I've heard of different states having AC and heat. I've
Mm,
heard of different states being able to buy televisions and video game systems and like tobacco products. In Texas, like there's none of that. Like you got certain units where you can actually buy like a personal TV, but like you got to get sent to that unit. And I think it's only like maybe two or three out of like over 100 units in Texas where you can have a TV in your cell. I know one for sure is like Bird Unit, and I think the other one is like another unit out there in Huntsville. But those dudes have like life sentences and a bunch of time.
right. I was literally about to ask you. I was like, those lifers, they have. I mean, they're spending the rest of their life up in there, but shoot, you never know what could go down in there. I mean, it could be anyone's, last day. Unfortunately, you know what I mean. With
Yeah,
what all goes down. But T, bro, I'm glad I got you on here, bro. It's truly an honor to have you on here, man.
appreciate you.
You know what I mean. It's not it's not easy talking about stuff that goes on in prison because, like you were talking about earlier, flashbacks. Um, and I respect that, and I respect my guests. So I ask respectable questions so that you guys are more comfortable. You know what I mean? I don't care about your sentence. I don't care how you got to prison. I don't care what you made in prison. I do, I do, but
Yeah.
it's not about that. You know what I mean? We're here to not expose, but talk about the real. But for the people that don't know you, brother, if you want to, give a little background on who you are, how you were brought up, your relationship with your family, your parents.
So I'm 33 years old. Uh, my dad, he was in the military, but when I was maybe like 1 year old, he got caught with about 5 bricks and 100K out there in Mississippi. So he was in the feds until I was in my 20s. I'm multiracial. My mom's white. My dad's black. Uh, Grew up in a lot of hoods throughout the Houston area. Moved around a lot. Uh, in my personal opinion, I'm colorblind. Like I'm not like other people. I don't judge you based off your race. Like I mess with whites, I mess with blacks, I mess with Mexicans. Like I mess with anybody. Uh, Around 16, I dropped out of high school because I was hustling. I was making way more money than was like
An average person.
the average person. And my mom, she told me, do you want to go to school or you want to you want me to unenroll you? So I was like, you know what, just go ahead and unenroll me so you don't got to go to court for truancy and me missing classes and all that stuff. So since I'm 16 years old, been pretty much on my own, and I was selling dope and doing robberies. I was actually hitting trap houses. Like I'm from Houston, but I was going to San Antonio to drop off X pills and coke and drink at the time. And I used to sell guns as well. And if I found out you were a trapper that didn't have any guns, I would just come back later on that day and I would take back everything that I sold to you.
Right.
And at the time, I didn't know that was a crime, robbing drug dealers, but they were actually calling the cops and telling them that I was stealing their dope, that I took their scales, their cell phones. If you look at my police reports, like they'll verify everything that I'm saying. They actually called the cops and told them that like I was stealing their dope. So that's how I got caught. I actually could have beat my cases, but I had 3 other co-defendants on some of my cases. 2 of my co-defendants snitched. One got probation. The other one, she got off scot-free. And my other co-defendant, who did do time with me, he got 7. I ended up getting 10 years because I took an extra case for him. But yeah, like a word of advice for anybody doing anything: if you do commit a crime because you're trying to feed yourself or your family, just do it by yourself because you can't tell on yourself.
Right. Absolutely. Hey, T, bro, like talking about the your co-defendants, like that was kind of a stressful situation because, like you said, the snitching and stuff. That actually goes on. Like, do you think these the people that interrogate, your co-defendants, like they kind of pursue them in a way of like, hey, like if you tell me this, whatever, I'll chop down your sentence. I'll let you go.
Well, actually, look, this is the thing. Like, I had been doing so many illegal activities that I was like well informed with the law. I had cousins that's been to the feds. Like I told you, my pops, he was in the feds.
Right.
My co-defendants, they were like petty criminals. Like, yeah, they would sell weed here and there, but like really, to be honest, 2 of the co-defendants that I had, I met them through the female that I was messing with, and like she vouched for them. She was like, "Oh, they good. They about their life." So like they seen how I was getting my money, and they seen me hit a couple trap houses. So they were like, "Hey man, we want to ride with you. We want to make this money." So I gave them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm telling y'all, like the day that I got pulled over for my case, like I got pulled over for a traffic violation, but everybody was in the car with me. And I had a feeling that like something weird was going on because when I got pulled over in San Antonio, I was kind of by UTSA. They had the whole road blocked off, and I like 4 or 5 squad cars behind me just sitting there for about 15 minutes. So while we were in the car, I tell everybody like, look, they're probably calling the detectives because all the stuff we've been doing. If they ask, do not let them take you back to your apartment and search y'all's apartments or any of y'all property.
Right.
Everybody was in the car freaking out like, oh, I ain't never got in trouble. What we gonna do? Then I had like some X pills and some Xanax on me and a pistol. And I told everybody, hey, y'all good. I'm gonna take the rap for all that. Just chill. Man,
Right.
the first thing that happened, like I said, detectives, they pulled up. They asked we had some weapons in the car. I was like, yeah, I gave them my gun and stuff. They put me in handcuffs. But I looked, and the detectives, they asked the female and one of my co-defendants, like, hey, can we take y'all to y'all dorm and y'all apartments, etc. And they're like, yeah. So that's the first mistake. And after that, they took us all to the substation and like they had the door cracked. And I heard some of my co-defendants like actually giving out statements. Because the door was right there and like they had us like sitting in these little chairs that was connected to a desk and like they had us handcuffed on the desk and they had the door like interrogation room right there. And like I could hear two of my co-defendants telling on me on my other co-defendant. And the co-defendant that didn't snitch, he was just like talking shit the whole. Oh, my bad. He was just
Nah,
talking.
you're good. You can say whatever you want on here.
He was talking down to the laws, like basically telling them, like, man, I'm not gonna tell y'all anything. While the other two were telling, basically making it seem like I'm the ringleader and all this other stuff.
Right. Damn, bro. That's wild. Because I know, I mean, I've seen a whole bunch of movies and documentaries on the whole interrogation thing. And I forgot what it's called, but there's like some laws on it that they're trying to expose those type of people that use excessive, kind of like excessive force and like trying to alter their mind. You know what I mean? In a way,
Yeah.
because
I
being
mean, in my situation, they tried to hit me with an organized crime because when you commit a crime, at least in Texas, and there's more than I think 3 people or 4 people, they saying that you're like premeditating it. So like they'll try to give you an extra case for organized crime. But like I sat in the county over 2 years
over
fighting
two
all these
years.
cases. Yes, I was in the county. I went to the county at the end of 2009 and I left sometime 2011 to actually go to prison. But I was in the county for so long because I had so many pending cases and I had like secret indictments because the co-defendants who was snitching on me, they were telling about stuff that didn't have nothing involving with the case. Like I had a homeboy who had shaved keys that was stealing motorcycles and cars, and like they were telling them where we were stashing that stuff at, so they started investigating that. Man, it was a lot of stuff going on at that time, so that's why I sat in the county for so long. But I had a paid attorney,
Right.
and if you got a court-appointed lawyer and
Right.
you are facing some major time, I'm telling y'all, man, don't worry about commissary. Don't worry about your rims, none of that. Like tell your people to sell all that stuff and get you a paid lawyer. Don't even worry about bond because if you get a court-appointed lawyer, what your court-appointed lawyer is gonna do is they're gonna swap you out. And when I say swap you out, this is what I mean. They're gonna go to the DA and they're gonna be like, yeah, my client's guilty, whoop-de-whoop. I know y'all don't got that much evidence, but if I get them to sign on this, then they're gonna mention a paid client that they got. Hey, do this for this guy because he already paid me and he's willing to pay these fines and he's out on bond and he's already taking care of his stuff. Like, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying right now. I
No,
hope
I
it makes
got you.
sense.
I got you.
But like, that's what they do. Like, they will swap you out if you don't have a paid lawyer.
Right. So like these people that don't have money or anything, like they just get is it just like a regular like attorney? Like right? A regular attorney and
Like,
they don't
if you don't have any money, you're like considered indigent. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna give you a court-appointed lawyer, and this court-appointed lawyer is gonna have 30 or 40 other clients in the same position, the same county jail you're in, fighting the same type of cases you're in. Say you have an aggravated robbery, man. Like that's a serious charge, and that's what I had. Man, like you're supposed to have somebody like investigating your case, talking to all the witnesses, talking to all the victims. You're supposed to have a private investigator like looking into these people's background, your background, because like if you do take something to trial, like you can use those people's character as evidence on, hey, this is why I did what I did, or hey, I didn't do it, or hey, their word isn't reliable. But when you got a court-appointed lawyer, they're not going to do none of that. All they're going to do is they're going to leave you in there. They're going to reset your court date a couple of times, and then they're going to come at you like, hey, they're not giving you high probation. You got to sign on this. If you don't sign on this, they're going to give you this. And some people, they so new to the process and the system that the first deal that's offered to them, boom, they sign on it when they could have got half that time.
Right. That's the thing too. Like for someone to be first offense, not knowing like on the rundown and stuff of any crimes or laws, like how shoot I if I went to jail right now, and they're hitting me with these bunch of charges and stuff, and like they're communicating, it's like a different language to me. Like how would that, like what does that feel like? I know, yeah. How did that feel like for you for your first offense?
Well, like this was like my first major offense and the first time I sat in the county for a long time. Because normally I would just bond out. Like I would just call like my baby mama or I call like whoever. I'd be like, hey, go grab some of my money, go to the bond place and get me. And in Houston, like we got specific bond places and you build a relationship with them and they'll just bond you out, boom, and then it tell you, hey, when you get out, come sign in and come pay us. So,
Right.
but I'm not from San Antonio, so I didn't have none of those places that would do that for me. And then you know how it goes when you get
Right.
locked up, everybody disappears and stuff. But when you go to court, the lingo and like everything is so fast because for like you get woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and they tell you you're going to court. So like around 6 in the morning, you're gonna get on that bus and you're gonna sit in a cold room that's about 30 degrees for about 3 hours waiting to go in that courtroom. So the whole time you like thinking to yourself, hey, is this the day that I signed? Is this the day that they hit me with another indictment? It's crazy. And you don't even get to talk to your lawyer until you actually go inside the courtroom. So when you go in the courtroom, you shackled up and like your lawyer, he's walking around talking to 5 other clients and then he finally makes it to you. And if it's a court appointed, the only thing they're gonna tell you is this. Nope, they're not giving out probation. Sign on this 15. You don't want to sign on this 15? Hey, I'll take it to trial for you, but you're gonna lose and they're gonna give you 5 to 99. And you got a lot of court appointed lawyers, they'll get mad if you don't want to sign a plea deal because they don't want to do that extra work and like prepare your defense for trial and all that.
Wow, that's crazy, bro. And that's where the system lacks, to be honest. And that's why I say the system is corrupt. Um, they don't care about their clients. You probably have a couple that care, but majority don't care. They're just there for the paycheck and they're a part of the corrupt system.
Like the system's so corrupt that like this is what they do. Like they don't care if they get the right person for the crime. They just
Right.
want to get the conviction. Because when I was going to court, they tried to link me to like 4 or 5 different robberies, which I had nothing to do with. But just because it would have been easier for them to like link me to those crimes to get them solved, like they were trying to do that. So part of my plea deal was like if I had any secret indictments or any pending indictments, I told my lawyer like they can't use that against me no more. Like make sure that on my plea deal, that anything that's pending or might be pending or anything they're investigating, they can't bring it up no more. Like this is it. As long as it's like not a murder, like if it's anything robbery related, drug related, gun related, like this is it. So boom, when they made my deal, they like had to like put that in fine writing. Like they can't, because I had 3. When I told my lawyer this, I found out I had 3 pending cases that were like sealed indictments, and like they were getting ready to unseal them and like hit me with those indictments. So luckily, I got away from those cases because I would have went from getting 10 years or probably like 30 years easily.
You think that 30 years? I mean, shoot, what if you got hit with that 30-year?
So I told my lawyer like if my plea is anywhere from 20 years on up, I might as well take it to trial because in my personal opinion, that's a life sentence. Sentencing
Right.
me to 20 years, even though I got to do 10 years because in Texas, when you get an aggravated case, you got to do half your time before you see parole. So I figured like I'm only 21 years old. You give me a 20 piece or anything up, that's a life sentence in my opinion. So
Right.
might as well take it to trial. So like the first 20 months I was sitting in the county jail, they kept coming at me with a 30 piece, 30, 30, 30. And one day they came at me with 40. So I'm like, damn.
40.
And I couldn't even figure out what was going on. And this is how I really figured out that my co-defendants were telling. And if anybody wants to know if they co-defendant telling, this is the tell sign right here. If all of y'all are going to court the same day for like every court date, and then one day one of your co-defendants isn't there or the other one isn't there, and your other co-defendant is still there, man, the co-defendants who are not at that trial date, those are the ones who's telling, because y'all will not get different court days. Y'all all will go, even if y'all have different trial dates and all that stuff, y'all still gonna go to court together though. So whoever's not going to court, that's who's telling. And my lawyer straight up told me, my lawyer was all like, hey, pay attention who's going to court and who's not going to court. Because whoever's not going to court, that's who's telling on you right now.
Bro, that's wild, man. That's crazy. Now, T, you're talking about earlier on about how you spent 2 years in the county jail, man. And county and prison are totally two different things. Do some of the inmates or whatever, do they like, aren't they hoping to go to prison? Not hoping to go to prison, but like speeding up the process to go to prison just because the living conditions in county jail?
I'm not gonna lie, like in Texas, they do. In Houston and San Antonio for sure, because the living conditions are so bad. Like I'm gonna give you an example. Like in Houston, it's so overcrowded that like a lot of people don't even get to hit the cells. Like they gotta like get these little roll-ups and like sleep under the TV or sleep on the floor. In San Antonio, man, they got one-man cells and two-man cells, but like I've seen a few times, like the two-man cells have 3 people in it, but the overpopulation over there is not the problem. It's like the food that like they give you like mystery meat, they give you like watered down beans. If you don't make commissary, like you really losing a lot of weight in the county. You're not coming back healthy because the county is like the worst food. And like the prices are inflated. Like in the prison system, a soup is like 25 cents. When you in the county, a soup is like over $1. So like
just for one
ramen noodle, over $1. So like you see like your money lasts longer in the penitentiary than it does in the county. And like if a person knows they going to the penitentiary, like they gonna do everything they can just to hurry up and sign and leave that county life, because that county time is like day for day. It's slow.
Right. AT, I'm not sure if you noticed on one of my posts, I'm not sure if you saw it, but I interviewed this dude named Jeffrey. He spent 10 years in Oregon's prison, and he was talking about the commissary. And don't mark my words or anything, but something about how like I think some of the COs or something can benefit off that, like salary wise.
Well, like in Texas, like you really can't too much pay the COs out of your pocket like that. Like you don't have to have somebody like Western Union them, or now the game changed. Like they can cash at people and all that stuff. Like I know y'all been seeing a bunch of prisoners on TikTok and stuff. Before I left the prison, man, it was like super secretive, this phone stuff. Like I'm really surprised I see so many prisoners on TikTok, especially because in Texas, if you get caught with a phone, like 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get a minimum of like 5 years added onto your system sentence. And like it's not ran concurrent. Sometimes they stack it. So they make you finish your first prison sentence and then boom, the phone sentence comes in. But sometimes you might get lucky and they just like let it run concurrent with your current sentence. Right. But with the whole phone thing and the food thing, like, man, it depends what county you in. You got some counties that like let you order hot plates like pizza, fried chicken and stuff like that. And you got counties who don't do it. But like in TDC, like your best bet is to go to commissary. I mean, the food is way better. You're not gonna go hungry because every day you're gonna get 3 decent meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner. But it's better just to have like a little bit of commissary, because you know at nighttime you might want to munch out. You want to have your own coffee, just stuff like that. And then on top of that, you want to buy your hygiene and your vitamins. It's important to buy the vitamins while you locked up, because you lose so much not eating right. And then especially in Texas, you sweat a lot. Like in Texas, man, you can drink a whole case of water in one day because you're sweating so much.
That's crazy. I know there's this prison, I think in Arizona, it's where they're outside. It's like a camp.
Yeah, like in the camps and the tents.
Right. That's wild. And in Arizona, it's like at least 108, 110. You know what I mean? With no AC and stuff. I don't know how you did it, T man. Shoot. Now like, so you said your father went to the feds when you were 1 years old, correct?
Yeah, he went to the feds.
To the feds. Now, did that like kind of affect you, like growing up and like putting you in a different environment? No role model, no like father figure, kind of in the play of your current
I
life.
so my mom, she was with my stepdad, and my stepdad, he's been in my life since I think I'm about 5 or 6 years old. That's when I met my stepdad, right? So my stepdad, he was a very jealous person. Like he
Mhm.
was very jealous of the relationship I had with my mom. And that was part of the reason why at 16 I left my house is because he didn't feel like there should be two alphas in the house. He was like, he's the
Right.
alpha, you know what I mean? I'm growing up, I'm feeling myself. You really can't tell me too much. So, we clashed a lot. And due to that, he was trying to be a father to me, but he didn't know how to be a father to me because I
Right.
guess I wasn't his blood child. So he tried to teach me sometimes, but a lot of the lessons that he tried to teach me, like the way he went about trying to teach it, like he's like the type of person, if you don't listen to him, like he gonna cuss you out and want to beat you up and you stupid and oh that ain't right. And he's got this attitude like, like he the king of the world. And I love the dude, but I don't mess with the dude no more. I don't talk to the dude no more because when I got out of prison, like instead of showing me support and directing me in the right direction every day, it was like, he ain't doing this. He ain't doing that. Uh Man, I can tell you so many stories about him beating me up, not when
Mm.
I got out of prison, but when I was a child and
That's
stuff
I'm
like
sorry for
that.
that, brother.
And that like affected me mentally and kind of turned me into the person I am today because I go 0 to 100 real quick
Right.
due to the stuff that I experienced.
All that trauma.
And a lot of people think sometimes I'm trying to be a tough guy or just because I went to the penitentiary, the world owes me something, but I don't feel like that. Like I feel like I paid my dues to society for what I did. And like all I'm trying to do, if you look at my page, is like inspire people.
Right.
Like I
Absolutely.
tell I tell people what I wish a person would have told me so that way they don't make the same mistakes I made, such as having a co-defendant, such as selling dope all day, such as backwards hustling when you just buying rims and clothes instead of investing it into a house or
Right.
something like stuff like that.
Hey, and I salute you for that, brother. We need more people like you, especially coming out of prison and showing, that awareness, especially to the youth. You know what I mean? Man, T, I'm sorry to hear that what happened, the whole abuse still um in the youth, man. That's hard. And then, not having, your real father, your blood father, around. That's kind of even, hard enough just having your mom too.
Hey,
Um,
and to touch up on something real quick,
right.
hey, I know a lot of people they mad at their moms or their dads for getting locked up, but y'all gotta understand something. A lot of times, y'all parents are trying to reach out to y'all, but y'all got a parent who's not letting them reach out to y'all. And the
Right.
reason why I'm bringing this up is because I grew up hating my real dad. Like I always wondered why he didn't love me. I wondered why he never reached out to me. I wondered why when he got out, he got married and had kids, but he never wanted to holler at me. Like I grew up like wondering this, and that led to a lot of anger throughout my life. But
Right.
I found out while I was in prison that he used to write me all the time. He used to send me packages and all type of stuff and try to holler at me and be a part of my life. But my stepdad was so insecure with that
Mm,
he made my mom hide all these letters from me and stuff. So that's why I said, man, look, if you got a pop or a mom that's locked up and they don't write you, don't blame them. Give them a chance to explain it to y'all when they get out. because 9 times out of 10, your mom or whoever is trying to protect you and is holding those letters, and it's just one of them things you gotta like deal with when your parent gets out.
Wow, that's huge, T man. You're different from the others. That's for real though. For real, you're a cool ass dude. Just like I can tell you're generally a nice dude too. Like for real, like deep down in your heart, because even earlier today, you're about to say a curse word, and you're like, excuse me, like my bad, and you like kind of altered your speech, you know what I mean, in a correct way. Um, just like that, just the little stuff you can tell from a person and how like soft spoken, genuine you are. You may have tattoos, you may have been to prison, whatever, but deep down in your heart, you know who yourself are, and that's not going to let you stop from doing what you're doing, and I respect that a lot, man. um Now I want to kind of touch up on that too, about the whole like the mental health, man, the mental health and like the trauma that you would you consider it trauma?
Uh, I like when I was locked up, like you gotta like keep your mind busy. You gotta like work out. You gotta have a schedule, and you can't let yourself get institutionalized. That's the main thing. Like people who are institutionalized because they let themselves get institutionalized. Like me, I was locked up for 8 years, but it felt like I was only locked up for like 6 months
Mm,
because I would read so many books. I would work out. I would write letters. I would keep myself busy. And I wasn't one of those people that started like washing his clothes in my toilet, uh, just doing weird stuff. Because to me, that's weird. Like
right.
if I don't do something in the free world, why would I do it in the penitentiary? Just because you're doing it. Just because somebody said it's acceptable doesn't mean it's acceptable to me. Because I have standards. I carry myself on a different level than other people do. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody, but I just carry myself to a different degree. And I'm
Right.
gonna give you like another example, and I hope like it's not too inappropriate. But
Nah, do whatever you got to do, bro.
in the penitentiary, there's a real like masturbation problem, right? Like
Right.
because people been locked up and away from women for so long. So if you a female guard and it's count time, a lot of times you're gonna have dudes in the cell butt naked, jacking off on these females, right?
Right.
Man, I've never done that. And to me, that was weird. Like when people would come in the day room and brag about it or talk about, oh, I just popped such and such. I be looking at them. I'm like, bro, like how you claim to be a player? Like how do you claim to have females and you doing stuff like that? Like I don't care how long you've been locked up. Like, and it's just little stuff like that. And like your mental health, man, that's gonna come within yourself. You gotta like strengthen yourself. Like you can't like sit there and be like poor me. You can't be sitting there and expect people to write you. You can't expect none of that stuff. Like when you in prison, you gotta be a gorilla. Every
Right.
day you gotta just wake up and just know that hey, today is a new day. I gotta make it through this day. And that's what it is. You can't worry about the outside world and what's going on. And that's how I stayed mentally strong. Like I kept everything day for day, minute for minute, hour for hour. Like I wasn't looking a week ahead, a month ahead, 6 months ahead. Like I was just keeping everything day for day.
Right. Absolutely, man. I remember you talking about that too in the messages when we were talking. You're like, yeah, I didn't prison didn't take the best of me. You spent 8 years in there. That's a lengthy time, man. Um, Now speaking about that, like how have you witnessed like people like from the first day you went in to prison to like the last, and like you've been around those inmates and people, you've noticed they're starting to slowly becoming institutionalized in a way.
I'm gonna tell you a little story about a little homeboy named Slim, right? So Slim, his real name Muhammad, he's still locked up. Anyway, I knew Slim from San Antonio. I knew him from the free world. Like he would buy X pills from me. So I think I was locked up for like a year in the county, and boom, he comes in the county. He had a dope case, I think too. So a year goes by, I end up going to the penitentiary, and I had already been in the penitentiary for about 2 years. So at the time, I've been locked up for 4 years.
Mm.
So he ends up coming to my transit unit. Boom. And he tells me how much time he has and all that stuff. The dude's still acting normal. The dude's still cool. Like his mental health is still straight. So when I got sent to my ID unit, he got sent to that same ID unit like a year later. And it was like a little youngster farm where like all they want to do is fight all day. Clemens unit. If you from Texas, you know about Clemens unit. So say that.
Is that like a CYA in California? I think
Uh, I don't know what a what was that?
CYA. It's like a prison for the juveniles, kind of.
Okay, so like that, Clemens is a max unit, but
Okay.
it had a area called Wild Peas, and that's like a young offender program. And if you under the age of 18, like they had their own wing. They would go to the child halls by themselves, and when they turned 18 years old, they would send them to population, or they would ship them off to another unit.
Mm.
But this dude, like I was saying, he ended up coming to the unit with me, and he started messing with K2. The K2 was like breaking him down mentally. Like I don't know if y'all know about K2, but like don't mess with it. Like in prison, we call it tunchi. So he started smoking the K2 and mixing it with ice, and then like mentally he just broke down. Like I walked by a cell one day, he underneath the bunk hiding. All you see is his big ass eyes coming from under the bunk. He talking about the COs looking for him. And long story short, he ended up going to the ICU because he overdosed. He didn't die like that, but he one of the dudes that I seen through the use of K2 like mentally just break.
That's wild, bro. Is that like the new because there's obviously drugs in prison brought in by COs, et cetera, whatever. But is that like the new drug in prison? Is that like what is that? They call it spice. Is it a spice too?
So it's called Spice, K2, Tunchi.
Okay.
And it's synthetic. Well, it's supposedly it's synthetic marijuana, but really what it is, it looks like a bunch of like ground up tea leaves sprayed with chemicals. And nobody knows what these chemicals are, and they can't make a drug test to detect the chemicals because they keep switching the chemicals. But some of the like active ingredients is like roach spray, like stuff that you ain't supposed to ingest. And the thing about K2 is it's not like weed or like Xanax or something like that, where like you take it and you just get high and like your high just stays like at a certain point. With K2, like the more you smoke, the higher you get, the higher you get, the higher you get. Man, you can get so high you can like mentally like break yourself that day. And it's crazy because 2015 I tried K2 because somebody told me like, hey, it's synthetic marijuana is just like smoking weed. So I'm like, cool, you know, because I'm a pothead.
Right.
So I smoke it and I go in my cell and I had like a little strip on my wall, and I promise this is why I stopped messing with this stuff. It was looking like the Sports Center ticker was going up above my bunk, and I thought I was literally like reading like the little stats from Sports Center. After that, like I knew like, nah, this ain't no normal stuff. Like this ain't nothing to play with. And I started seeing other people, man, throwing themselves off tears. I seen somebody like try to cut off their private part. I seen somebody slit both their wrists and they throat, go underneath the sheet to bleed out, trying to kill themselves on K2. Like, man, I can tell you a lot of stories about K2, bro.
That's crazy. And is it true that like, so let's just say for an example, like this paper right here, like say you take off, like for an example, you take off like a piece like this. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Yeah.
Right there. And they, like you said, they spray it with like the raid, like the roach thing. And they can sell this for like a big bank, like, I don't know, like $40 or something crazy.
I've heard about that. And like, that's a new thing because before I left, people wasn't doing that. Like people was like getting in the K2 or the spice, whatever you want to call it, the tunchi, through the guards 9 times out of 10. And I'm not going to tell like the other methods because they're still getting used to this day and I don't want to get nobody busted.
Right.
But one of the methods that they caught on to was like you know the little postcards that kind of look like cardboard, like
Uh,
them- they kind of look, they're like cards, but they're like made out of cardboard, like the little material that's like on the back of like a writing pad.
oh, right. Yeah, I got
All
you.
right.
Yeah.
Well, like some people were so smart that like they figured out how to compress the K2 to make it look like one of those boards. So when your people would mail it to you, the mail people would give it to you, and you would just bust that down, and you would have like a whole glove of K2, and that's like at least $800 worth of K2 in Texas, at least. You know what I mean? But nowadays, just like you said, like they're spraying the mail with the chemicals, and like the people are just busting down the paper, and like I don't know what you get out of smoking paper, but they smoking the paper.
That's crazy, man. That's wild. Shoot. They're really creative, man. Let me tell you that. That's for sure. Now, is there like now I know obviously you're not a correctional officer, but do you think these like the investigators like, that you're because your mail goes through like the whole system and they scan it, whatever. Like, don't you think their
Well, like
job's getting like stressful?
it depends on what unit you are, because you got some units that have dogs who's supposed to sniff it. You got some units that got like certain lights that they shine on the letters to see and detect chemicals on them. But what you got to understand about Texas is 20 years behind the rest of the states as far as the prison system.
Mm,
We still got units that were built in the 1800s that are getting used to this day. Like, if I'm not mistaken, Bird unit was built in 1895 or 1905. Like, we got some units that are over 100 years old,
bro,
and
that's wild.
I've been to some of these units, and that's why I tell you, like, the summertime is no joke, because these are like red brick buildings. So all day in the heat, these bricks are just baking. So at nighttime, the bricks they're getting cooled off, but like the heat's coming off these bricks, so it's still hot at nighttime. It doesn't cool down in the Texas prison till about 4 in the morning. At 4 in the morning, it's cool. Your fans blowing like nice circulating air on you, and then around 5:30 in the morning, 6 in the morning, it starts all over again. It's hot.
Dang. You said 1800s, huh? And that's back when the slaves and stuff, weren't intact because the
If you see some of these penitentiaries, you're gonna understand, because like some of these penitentiaries are set up like colonies, like slave plantations,
right.
because they got cotton fields, they got hog farms, they got uh,
They still got the chain gang in
corn.
Texas.
Yeah, they got the chain gang. They still got all.
See that's part of the problem, bro. That's like it's corruption. It's still like you said, people should not be inmates should not be living in 1800s buildings and stuff. It's not sanitary and stuff. Yeah, these people did the crime, but you can't make them live in poor conditions. Man, it's crazy. I did not know that at all because I know over here in California, San Quentin is the oldest prison right now. San Quentin, there I think that was built in like the early 1900s or something crazy like that. Or Alcatraz, but Alcatraz isn't. It's not in play right now.
And to
Uh,
touch up on your sanitation point, it's funny you say that, because when I was at Clemens Unit and I was working at the kitchen, man, we used to have rats that was bigger than some of my cats that I have. Like, and like, you got to understand, like, in TDC, we grow all our own vegetables, right? Like, we grow our
right.
own broccoli, corn, all that stuff. But we do have cans for like when it's not in season. But when I used to work in the back in the kitchen commissary, man, I promise you, there was about 50 rats just running around by the beans, by the rice. Man, you got cats outside the door waiting for you to open up the door so they can hunt these rats. Like, man, look, like Clemens was so dirty. Like, the first week I was there, the first time I went to commissary, like, I had to go to work in the kitchen right after, right? So I didn't have time to like put up my commissary. So I just threw everything in my cell, and some of the stuff landed on the ground. So when I came back from work, one of my bags of chips was like bust open, but I seen like little holes in it. So the first thing that popped in my head was like, damn, my silly must think I'm a hoe. He busted open my chips and just put them back. So I was about to check my celly, and man, me and my celly was cool. He rolled over. He like actually picked up all my commissary, put it on my bunk, put a sheet on it, and put my fan on it so no more like rats would get on my stuff. And he told me like, damn, Shelly, like I know you knew, but man, we got a rat problem over here. You left some of your stuff on the ground, and Mickey Mouse started eating up your stuff.
Mickey Mouse. That's crazy, man. The sanitary in there, huh?
Man,
rats bigger than your cats almost.
Man, I'm talking about these rats was I've never seen rats this big ever in my life.
And they had cats too, like the prison too. Were their pets allowed? Like cats allowed?
Nah, like the cats weren't allowed, but that prison where I was at, like they had the warden, the major, the captain, and like all the high ranking officers. They had houses actually like on the land, so like they didn't even have to like leave to go home. Like from where I worked in the kitchen, like I could see the warden's house, I could see the major's house. Like sometimes I saw the warden's wife and kids. Like it was crazy. Like they all lived there.
Hey T, you think prison to an extent is modern day slavery? Especially with the work, like the workforce free guys, the underpay.
In Texas, it is because check it out. All right, look, you get $0 for working. You don't get anything for working. Like a person like me, I had an aggravated case, so I don't even get good time for working. I just go to work not to get a write-up. But the crazy part is, one, you don't get paid for your work. Two, if you don't go to work, you get rolled up. Three, if you get 3 of the same write-ups, it goes major. So when you get a major case, you drop your line class and you got a chance to get G4. And what G4 is like you in your cell 20 hours a day and you out 4 hours a day. You on lockdown, you can't do nothing, you don't got no privileges, you got a limited commissary spend, and then after G4 is G5, which is egg seg, and we all know what egg seg is. So if you don't want to go to work in Texas, you're going to end up getting G4 and then getting G5, and that messes with your parole because the parole people, they're going to be looking at your file like, oh, you don't want to work.
That's something else, man. And from your perspective, because you lived it, do you think prison is corrupt in a way? Do you think some of the inmates are part of the corruption?
Man, look, the inmates are so stupid. It's like I look, I'm gonna give you an example. Inmates are the same as the crowds that are outside when you turn on the news. And I'm gonna tell you why. All right, like you remember last year when all this COVID stuff happened and like you seen all these stupid riots, and like guess what these people were doing, right? They were hitting the Gucci stores and the Prada stores and Saks, right? And they were like protesting over dumb stuff. Like man, they were protesting COVID mask and stuff like that. But then when the stimulus bill ended and everybody lost their unemployment, nobody wanted to riot over that, right? Nobody wanted to hit the Capitol Hill. Everybody was quiet. But somebody gets killed that you don't even know. And it doesn't matter what race it is. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, or Mexican. If you get killed, you get killed, right? If you say a certain thing to the cop gonna mess with you. I know this for a fact because I've been pulled over 1,000 times. And you know, every time I get pulled over, what I do? No, sir. Yes, sir. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever I got to say to get out this way, that's what I do. I don't say no crazy shit like, fuck you. Why you pull me over? Stop messing with me. You doing this because I'm black. I don't say none of that stuff because those are like triggers. And this is what a lot of you guys don't understand. You guys are triggering the police when you guys are getting pulled over and you asking stupid ass questions like that because you're already pulled over. So just say yes, sir, no, sir, and get out the way because you're not trying to get shot in front of your girl. But back to the comparison, In prison, it's the same way. These people will ride over the dumbest stuff. Like, y'all want to ride over somebody losing a cell phone or somebody not paying a K2 debt. But when it's really time to ride over something important, like them giving us Johnny sex for 30 days straight and not giving us a hot meal or not letting us use the showers for 2 weeks, y'all don't want to ride. Y'all don't want to pop it off. But over some dumb stuff, y'all want to pop it off. And it's the same thing in the world. And it like blows my mind because it's like the stuff we supposed to fight for, we don't fight for. But the stupid stuff, like popping open a Gucci store or going to Best Buy and stealing a flash screen or going to Apple and stealing Apple phones that y'all can't even use because Apple texting y'all, telling y'all to bring them back. Like, it just blows my mind, bro.
Right. That's real though. I mean, that is real. Shoot. Another thing too about that cop situation. Do you feel like a lot of cops, especially about the triggering too? Do you feel like some cops trigger their person that they're pulling over and stereotype them in a way, and it kind of makes the person getting pulled over in defense mode in a way, or not?
Look, I'm not trying to defend the cop at all, right?
Right.
Like, I'm not trying to be on the cop side, nothing like that. I'm telling everybody from experience that when a cop pulls you over and they see a person like me tatted up on gang file, because I'm on gangs, like when I get pulled over, like there's like certain protocol the cops gotta like follow because of what's behind my name and what I've done in the past.
Right.
So, and I'm not bragging about it. I'm not proud of it. Like, I'm just telling y'all some like real ass shit.
Absolutely.
When you getting pulled over, a cop is scared because one, they don't know what you got in the car. Two, they've been watching the news and they seen all their colleagues getting beat up and killed. And three, they don't want to be the next person to headline the news because he killed an innocent minority. So what you got to understand is this: if you doing any dirt, one, don't drive around smoking and give them probable cause to search you to begin with, because that's on you. You want to ride around smelling like weed? Come on, bro. Right. Two, if you're doing some dirt, do it the right way. Don't have a whole bunch of guns and stuff in the car. Make it to point A, make it to point B. And three, if you getting pulled over, don't panic. Don't say no stupid stuff. Just keep it G, man, because at the end of the day, like I said, the cops got trigger words. And when you trigger a cop, he gonna treat you a certain way. But if you respectfully tell a cop, like, hey, my bad, I ran that light, blah, blah, blah. Hey, I've seen this a lot of times. 9 times out of 10, the cop gonna be so relieved that you being cool with them that they gonna give you a little citation and they gonna let you go.
Right. Absolutely. Right. Right. Yeah, you hit it. You hit it on spot, man. That's straight facts for real. It's just being respectful too, no matter what the circumstance is, like what you're talking about. Yes, sir, no, sir. No, thank you. Yes, yes, whatever.
Hey, but a lot of people, they gonna hate the answer that I just gave you because they gonna feel like I'm not standing up for the black community right now and stuff like that. But let me tell y'all something, man. I stand up for anybody, no matter if you white, black, or Mexican. I don't care about skin tone. I don't care about none of that stuff. At the end of the day, if you getting pulled over and you say something stupid to the cops, that's on you. I'm not saying they got the right to manhandle you and shoot you and kill you in front of your family. That's not what I'm saying at all. But a lot of times these situations could have been avoided by your word choice. And it's all about your word choice.
Absolutely, T, man. That's right. That sure is right, man. Now, T, how's your transition? How's your transition into society? I'm not gonna keep you too long. I know you got stuff to do, but
nah, you good, bro.
It's late over there. And
my transition wasn't smooth at all because when I came home, I still had the penitentiary mindset, so I was still talking how I used to talk, and I had a certain attitude that I had to like figure out how to lose. Like I had to like humble myself because like I feel like everybody owed me something. I felt like everything was gonna be easy. I had a little notepad that I had been writing in for the last 3 or 4 years where I was like setting goals. First 3 months, I need to have this accomplished. First 6 months, I need to have that accomplished. So the transition, it wasn't hard, but it wasn't easy at the same time. What made it easy was my girl. Like I met my girl 2 weeks after being out of prison, and she helped me a lot. She was very patient with me. Like a lot of females, man, they're not trying to deal with a dude that's freshly out of lock, who got an attitude, all that other stuff. But she helped me develop my mindset into a better mindset. Like she helped me understand, hey, you gotta go to work. Hey, you gotta get a job. Hey, you gotta be responsible with your money and pay bills. Hey, you gotta do this. Hey, you gotta think about that. Cause I'm not gonna lie to you. If it wasn't for my girl, when I got out, I would have been doing the same thing I was doing before I got locked up. But thankfully, she reminded me of what I went through, and she's always been there for me. And like, like out of everybody since I've been out, she's been A1 and like the only person that's never let me down. Like everybody else, including my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, old homies, like they all let me down since I've been home. They all been doing some foul stuff. They all on another level type stuff. But with her, even when she mad at me, you know what I'm saying? She hold it down. She gives me good advice, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother. Salute to her, man. Um, now, have you have you and your father talked anytime soon or not? It's just the relationship's gone, kind of.
Like me and my real pops, we
Right.
talked maybe like 2 years ago, and it wasn't even like a talk that you would think that you would have with your pops when you never talked to him. Like
Right.
he was trying to like talk to me like he's my homeboy. You know what I'm saying? Like he
Right.
was. I can't really describe it to you, man.
No,
It was
I
weird.
understand.
It was weird, and I haven't talked to him since. Like he still talks to my mom because my mom, she actually texted me like a month ago, and she told me that he just got remarried and had another child. Stuff like I don't care about. And then like me and my stepdad, we don't talk at all because, like I told you earlier, he a very jealous person, and my brother and my sister, they both told him like I was gonna beat him up when I got out of prison because they even got tired of him. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
everybody really tired of him, but like my mom, man, she's like one of those women who it can't handle change, so she doesn't want to leave him. My brother and my sisters, they ain't grow up like how I grew up. They grew up kind of like in a better environment, and they don't know how to deal with a lot of the stuff that he puts them through because he a big dude, but he plays more mental games and tries to break you down mentally.
Right.
And like they don't know how to deal with that stuff.
True, man. I'm sorry that happened to you, bro. Uh, yeah, I can kind of I can, I can kind of relate a little bit because my father's been in and out of prison. Right now, he's in prison and he's serving a 10 year. Um, but in California, it's a three strike law.
Yeah,
So
I heard about that.
yeah, so he got lucky. He got real lucky because he was about to serve a fat amount of time, but luckily, he didn't. But it's only 10 years. But like I don't, it's just I don't know. It's just for now, like me personally, um, I kind of moved on in a way, especially me being 22 and missing a part of my like high school and college years. It's just I grown up on my own kind of in a way, and I learned right from wrong from experience. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I kind of understand what you're talking about. You know what I mean, bro? Um, but T, what was your transition out of society or into society was pretty well because thankfully you had your girl around and stuff, and she kind of guided you in a direction. What are you doing currently right now? I know you got that TikTok deal. I like what you're doing on there. You just got on TikTok not too long ago, huh?
Well, see, like my girl, she used to get on TikTok all the time watching videos, and I think for like 6 months or 9 months, man, I used to like always watch his videos. And just like Instagram, I was late with the whole Instagram thing. So one day I just got on TikTok and I seen Burner. Like I don't know if you ever seen this dude named Burner 420,
bro.
but
Mhm.
he made these fake penitentiary videos, and I stitched one of them, and I got like a lot of love from that stitch and a lot of response from people who actually did time, and they was pissed off because they felt like all the G's who really did their time, like to have a peon like him misrepresent us. Like a lot of people was mad about that because when you claim to get that much money every month, like you supposed to be sending your people money back home and
Right.
help them out. But he was basically like, I don't even know how to describe it. He was basically gloating and like glorifying the fact that he had a woman spending over $30,000 on commissary and phone time, like a year on him alone. You know what I mean? And in my personal opinion,
That's
should no
funny.
woman spend that much money on no man that's locked up in the penitentiary? No matter how much you love that man, like there's no reason for you to have that much money because there's not enough spend limit for one,
Right.
and then two, you supposed to be getting your mind right. So with all that money, what you doing all day? Gambling and doing drugs. And that's the point that I tried to make when I made that stitch.
Right. And shoot, he may still be doing that right now, honestly. But I mean, that's besides the point. Um, Dang, yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right. Because I actually had some. Me and him kind of went through it, but I kind of they start him and this dude named P90 with a scope.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
too sure.
that dude had hit me up too. That dude right there had actually threatened me in one of the comments saying that he was gonna pull up with Burner and they was gonna handle me. That stuff really made me laugh.
Bro, P90. I'm gonna say right now, and I don't care who sees this, but I interviewed P90 and he was cool during the moment, but afterwards he unfollowed me. I don't know why. I don't get into the end of that mix, but that dude's 16 years old and he's never been to prison. Let alone I don't even know if he's been to juvenile hall, maybe for a day or so. But that dude's fake. Burner's fake. You should not glorify prison because prison's not a place where you want to be. And then you have a bunch of youth here on TikTok, and they see that and they're like, "Oh, prison's kind of cool. Oh,
Hey,
live
for
in a
all
certain
the
way."
ones, and I put this on my TikTok, but for all the ones who get on my videos and claim that I'm capping or I'm lying, you've never been to a real unit. Like you might have been to a trustee camp or you might have been to the county. But I'm gonna give you an example. I made a TikTok warning people about the type of tattoos to get on their bodies, right?
Right.
Because certain logos, certain stars, certain whatever means certain stuff to a certain gang out here in Texas. Man, I had a couple people, and like, look, when you go to your unit, like, we got GIs. It's called gang intelligence, right? They
Okay.
gonna make you strip all the way to your boxers, and they gonna take a picture of every single one of your tattoos, and they gonna ask you straight up, like, "Hey, are you a Blood? Are you a Crip? Are you a GD?" And it on the cool, man. If you bang, it's good just to let them know what you is because if you don't tell them and they send you to a unit where you can't walk, man, you gonna get life flighted off that unit. Like Bloods, Crips, GDs, they don't gotta worry about nothing like that because the black community is always gonna come together and we not gonna look at colors, nothing like that. Just gonna take care of each other. But like Mexicans and white boys, they gotta worry about that stuff because you get off that chain bus, they're gonna look at your tattoos, and if you got a tattoo they don't like, they're gonna smash you off the unit.
Right.
I was making these videos advising people about the tattoos, and I had a couple people talking about, oh, they don't do that. I just left TDC and they didn't check no tattoos. Well, every unit I've been on, every single unit, they checking tattoos. There's not one unit I've been on where they don't make you take your shirt off and they look at your tattoos. So for anybody who get on my post and says that I'm capping or I'm lying, you never been to a real unit. Because even in the feds way stricter than like a state prison. People in the feds was hitting me up and they were telling me that they doing this stuff.
Right. There is a lot of trolls on Twitter too, or I mean not on Twitter, on TikTok. So don't even mind that stuff, bro. You're on a different level than they are. That's for sure. Um, yeah, another thing too about that. I don't know if they have it in Texas. That I think they do. Do they got the Aryan Brotherhood in Texas, or is that just Cali?
Now they got the Aryan Brotherhood in Texas, but I
That's where
mean
it originated, right?
in Cali.
Or no, in Texas. Wasn't it in Texas it originated, kind of?
To be honest, I don't know where it originated. I just know that in Texas, the ABs, they're not allowed to walk at any unit. So if you were AB, you gotta like tell the GIs that you AB so they can send you to a special unit because the ABs in Texas, they're a family. So like the Caucasians, they don't like them because that particular family, like when they get together, they like call shots and make regular Caucasians who are not part of their circle do missions. So the Caucasians, they don't, the regular Caucasians, which are called Woods, they don't let them walk the yard. So they got their own units or they get super sig.
Right,
Or they go through a program where they gotta renounce their gang and they gotta write like a 5-page essay on how they got in the gang, what they've done for the gang, why they leaving the gang, and blah blah blah.
right. So Aryan Brotherhood and the Woods are completely two different things, correct? Or
Yeah,
no?
yeah,
Okay.
those are two different gangs,
Or
or
the Woods
two different organizations.
organization. So are the Woods kind of racial towards others or not?
Now, see, look, so this is the thing. Like, Woods are not racial. Like, Wood stands for white only one deep, and like basically what Woods are, they're like Caucasian people who are not in the gang or nothing in the world who come to prison and they kind of like have each other's back. It's like a little brotherhood, basically. And like in Texas, a lot of cities had this. Like some of the Mexicans do it. Like they got like Tango Blast, they got Orejones, they got Woods. Like man, they got so many different prison organizations. There's nothing in the world, but when you come to prison, like it's something.
Right, right, right. Well, I've always wondered. I've always wondered that, and I'm glad you kind of, because I learned a lot too. Like right now, I take notes and stuff, so I'm jotting down stuff, so I know, but yeah, I've always wondered that the Aryan Brotherhood compared to the Woods, that's like,
Like the
you
Aryan Brotherhoods, those are the ones that are racist. Those
right
are the ones who are like the white power, and they ain't trying to hear none of that other stuff.
now, and do they heavily enforce that in prison too? The AB, like the racial deal too. They're heavily like, you know,
Well, like I said, like the ABs, they got their own units, or they like super seg. So like the Caucasians who are in population, 9 times out of 10 they would. But like you got to understand how racially divided the prison system is in Texas. Like white people have no say in anything. Like check this out. Like when I was at Clemens Unit, the day room had 2 TVs, right? So
right.
one TV was for black, the other TV was for the Mexicans. White boys they didn't have no TV. Then you had 5 tables in the day room. One was a gambling table. The other table was for a black. The other one was for a Mexican. The other one was for like people to write letters. And then the other table, they were like, if nobody's using it, y'all white boys can use it. Then we had like benches. So like on the right side, that was for all the black people, right? But in order for you to sit on the first 2 row benches, you had to be in a gang. Like you had to be a Blood, Crip, GD, Vice Lord. Well, like you had to bang something. The
Right.
other 3 benches were like for regular black people. Then on the other side, you had the Mexican side. First 2 rows, they was for like Tango Blast, Orejones, uh West Texas, whatever, and then like the other ones were like for the solo Mexicans who didn't bang anything. Then the white people, the black side is not gonna let the white boys sit on their side. They're like, nah, y'all can't sit here. But the Mexicans, they're gonna let them use like that very last row. If nobody's using it, they're like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can sit there. But a lot of times, like Caucasians, they gotta ask for permission to do a lot of stuff. which in my personal opinion is messed up because we all locked up, all should have a say, but that's not how it goes in Texas. In Texas, the prison system ran by black Mexicans. White boys don't got no say.
Mm.
And that's any unit. That's not just Clemens unit. Every unit I've been on, that's been like the law of the land. Even like on units where I've been at, where we had 4 TVs in the dorm, they gonna make one TV specifically for blacks, one TV specifically for Mexicans, and then what they'll do with the other 2 TVs is one's gonna be a movie TV and the other one gonna be a sports TV.
Got you. Okay. Thank you for giving me the rundown. I've always wondered. I don't want to. Damn, man, I can talk to you for hours, bro. I feel bad. I honestly.
Nah, you don't gotta feel bad, bro. I got time, bro.
I feel bad, man. Because I got questions on questions, but since we're on that topic, are the whites and Mexicans alliance or no?
So like with that, it depends on what unit you're on. Like you got some units where like if a racial riot pops up, the white boys they gonna help the Mexicans. Then you got some places where like the whites they're gonna run with the blacks. It just depends.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
It depends on the politicking. See, like prison is very political. You're gonna have like a speaker in every dorm for every gang. You're gonna have a main speaker, but like it also depends on the situation. Like, say like the Mexicans been messing up and the blacks just feel like smashing all the Mexicans, then the white boys might just be like, fuck it, we gonna help them out and get these dudes off the unit because they've been messing up. But all the riots that I've seen and I participated in, the white boys been helping the Mexicans.
Right. Man, that kind of caught my eye. That was an eye-opener when you said on some of the units, the whites back up the blacks, and vice versa, or just whites back up blacks. Because I know here in California, I've interviewed a couple people. I've interviewed one that was actually inside prison. And, I mean, you probably know they don't associate at all. They'll probably chop it up here and there, but the prison.
Hey, it's funny you say that because, look, this like black people in prison, man. We don't care. We'll eat with anybody. We'll eat with a Mexican, eat with a black person, eat with a white person.
Right.
White people, they'll eat with a black person. They eat with a Mexican. Hey, guess who not gonna eat with everybody? Mexicans.
Yeah.
Mexicans will not eat with a black person. They're not gonna eat. Sometimes they'll eat with a white person, but they damn sure not gonna eat with no black person. And like they so strict about it, like if they get caught eating with a black person, a lot of times they get like D'd up or smashed off the unit. Wow. And that's facts. Like I seen a lot of Mexicans get disciplined for eating with a black person or smoking with a black person. Like, and look, this is like a thing that kills me about the racial stuff that goes on in prison. And I've gotten a fight over this before. You'll see a race, whether it's white, black, or Mexican, talk cash shit about another race, right? You'll see like a Mexican be like, fuck them black people, or
they'll say that right out. They'll just say that blank, like right out loud.
Nah, look, they'll think like you're not listening, and like say you walking by, right? And look, this is why I got in a fight one day. These 2 Mexican dudes, they were talking shit about races, right? They were like, man, fuck black people, fuck white people, blah, blah, blah. And then I found out that one of the dudes, his baby mama was the race that he was talking about. So I charged him up and I was like, bro, how you gonna be like, fuck such and such race and your kid is that race, bro? So basically what you're saying is fuck your kid, huh? And he ain't like that. So we got into the fight. But it's like, bro, if you don't like what I'm saying, think about what you say before you say it. Because, bro, that don't make no sense saying fuck white boys or fuck these black dudes or fuck these Mexicans and your baby mama's Mexican or your baby mama's black or your baby like and your child is that race. Like, what does that say? And like and it's like crazy because people are so easily manipulated into like a group thinking. Like I seen a lot of people come into prison, not racist. They don't got no hate for nobody, but their group makes them into that person because of the peer pressure. They don't want to be the odd man out or be that person like, nah, that ain't right. And it's funny to me because I'm the type of person, man, if I feel like something ain't right, I'm gonna be like, nah. There's been a lot of times where like the homies wanted to do something. I'm like, nope. Like, no, like for what? Like, how's this benefiting us? Or like, why is that everybody's issue? That's your issue. And
Right.
that's what I gotta understand. When you in prison, you don't gotta follow nobody's rules, directions. If you don't feel comfortable doing something, like don't do it. If
Right.
you don't want to participate in something, like don't participate. Like as long as you stand on your own 2 feet and you willing to fight, like that's it. You gonna be straight. You don't gotta get tatted up. You don't gotta be Billy Badass. You don't gotta do none of that. You can go to school. You can go to work. You can work out. Man, you don't gotta do none of that extra activity.
Do you think some people feel the need to because they're kind of scared and they'll get put on for it kind of in a way?
Look, a lot of people join organizations because they scared.
Right.
Like I tell a lot of people, and especially like the younger people, there's no guns in jail. And like when people start realizing this, I think they're gonna start making better life choices because right now, a person to do whatever they want to do because they got a gun, right? They'll
Right.
shoot you, they'll rob you, they Billy the Kid. But then they get to TDC or they get to that county, them same people who was just making all that noise in them streets, they quiet. They
Mm-hmm.
quiet as the church mouse. They don't want no problems. They don't want to fight. All of a sudden, you're not about that life no more. And is why? Because you don't got a gun. And that's the part that kills me too, man. This is like, bro, you claim to be a street dude, but when somebody has an issue with you, you don't want to fight. Or
Right.
oh, I'm just trying to go home. It's like, man, it's not like that no more. Like you got to understand the choices lead to consequences, and like sometimes, man, it's gonna lead you down a road you don't want to be on. But that's the reality of the situation. And a lot of the youth, they don't know how serious jail and prison is and how serious tattoos are and how serious like this shit gets because Lil Wayne and Young Thug and Plies, they all on these music videos flashing guns and money, showing the good side of the hustling, but show the bad side of hustling.
Right.
Show Hood Rich Pablo Juan fighting that Rico case.
Right.
Show how Lil Wayne had to kiss Trump's ass to get that pardon.
Yeah.
Show how NBA YoungBoy just got
Just got
locked up
in. Yep.
because his homeboy's messing up. Show how Casanova 2 times fighting a Rico case because his homeboy's messing up. See, that's what y'all need to watch. Watch the bad part because the good part is always going to look gravy. But the
Right.
bad part, when everybody abandons you and you've been gone for 8 years and nobody knows your name, because what y'all don't understand is this. Y'all hustling for rims and jewelry and money, but the day that I got locked up, I lost all that. Within 5 minutes of being in handcuffs, everything that I worked for 8 years was gone. And like it made me realize that hey, all this material stuff, it don't even matter. Like I was backwards hustling. Like I don't got nothing to leave my daughter. I don't got nothing. Like I'm just like I'm nothing. Like you know what I'm saying? And like
Right.
you gotta like realize that you ain't nothing. And I'm not trying to say you ain't nothing like in a negative manner. What I mean by saying you ain't nothing is like you're not as big as you think you are. You're
Right.
like not the man. There's like 10 other dudes who are ready to take your spot. Just
Absolutely.
because you just got locked up doesn't mean the weed flow stopped. It's 10 other dudes that I can go get weed from. And like people need to like realize that and think long run and not short run.
Man, T, bro. Has any besides me, like, has anyone like reached out to you about doing like a podcast or anything?
Nah, you the first person.
Man, bro, you need to get I hope these clips that I put up on that TikTok blows up. And someone because there's actually this podcaster I know that's pretty kind of he's got a pretty big following. I'm gonna shoot him a text. I'm gonna see what's good with that because man, just not even about prison, bro. People can have like for me example, like I can have a conversation with you, uh, not even about prison, you know what I mean? And we can just talk, you know. And I mean, you being like an advocate, I feel like you can really benefit off that, especially, make it spreading awareness for the youth. You know, using analogies. I like how you use different analogies, and it sticks with the person you're talking to. Like for me, example, use analogies that catch your attention. And like I said about the youth, it starts with the youth. And I really feel like you can do something with that and become super, super big, bro. And TikTok is the way to do it. You know what I mean? For real, bro. Have you ever thought about doing that? You're already doing it.
I mean, when I was locked up and like I was telling you about that notepad, I wanted to get out and I wanted to do like a Big Brother thing or like a boys and girls type deal.
Right. I know what
But
you mean.
since I'm a felon, like I don't know how that works. And I actually wanted to go to some of my old units and like give speeches about what to expect when you get out and stuff like that. And I actually tried to call my old warden and I left him a voicemail, but like he never got back to me. So like I don't know
Don't
if
let
I'm
that stop you. Don't
I
let
don't
that
know
stop you.
if that's like ever gonna happen. But that's why if you pay attention to my TikToks, I mix in like music videos or like I might talk about some off topic stuff, but 90% of my content is about bettering yourself and like what to expect when you get locked up and what not to do when you get locked up. So if
Right.
y'all ever watch my videos or get on my TikTok, like that's what my TikTok is about, is just informing you and like trying to like get you the least amount of time as possible if you do get in trouble.
Absolutely no, bro. I'm all up on your TikTok, man. I'll even go through the comments and like just see like stuff, and I'll dig deep in it. But well, you just started too, so I like what you provide, and I love your content, man. You're one of my for sure the favorite people I look forward to watching the videos because it's all real. You know what I mean? But yeah, even like doing the like speaking to like the schools and stuff, like elementary schools too, would be really good. But I think if you have like the only thing I think that'd be holding like people back if you are like for your case example, I think you'd be fine, but like if you're like a sex offender or child, predator, whatever, stuff like that, I don't think you can. But in your case, bro, I think you're able to be honest. I feel like that'd be really cool, and that's some that you get really good recognition, and some hand like people would hand out their hands to you and like ask you questions, and you know I don't know, man. That'd be something cool, especially because you've been through it. With the youth struggles with the father situation, the prison situation, and all that.
Hey, I don't want to give y'all like the wrong impression and think like I just started being like this overnight. Like this, it was a process. Like I didn't just become humble and like a normal person overnight. Like it's like I'm 33 years old right now. Like it took me years and years and years of failure, years of just just making mistakes. Even when I got out and like till this day, I still make mistakes. Till
Right.
this
It's
day, like
human. It's human nature.
at nighttime, I still think back and I'm like, man, I shouldn't have said that, or hey, I should have did this. I don't really sleep too much because like I'm like I think so much about the past and about mistakes and about stuff that I need to do and how I need to do it. But the best piece of advice that I can give all of y'all who are freshly out is this: disassociate yourself from all the people that you used to talk to, all your old homeboys and all the females you used to mess with, because all it's gonna do is gonna bring you back to that old stage in your life, and you trying to progress and go to a different stage in life, and you can't do that with the same people who helped you and hindered you. And the reason why I'm saying this is because my old co-defendant who didn't snitch on me, he got out before me, right? He got out about 2 years before me, and he didn't put a dime on my books, didn't write me one letter, didn't answer one phone call, none of that, right? So when I got out, he reached out to me. We like did a couple construction jobs together because he was doing his little fencing thing and stuff. But long story short, I had to like figure out that like he was like still holding me back. Like he was like
Right.
hindering me because he was still like on his old stuff. Like
Right.
he still wanted to chase females. He got mad at me because I had a girl and I wouldn't go to the bar with him, or like I didn't want to hit a lick with him, like stuff like that. And it's just like, bro, like I'm me, and I know that used to be the old me, and like you probably can't understand that I'm on some like whole different stuff, bro. And like
Right.
it got to the point where I deleted him from my Instagram, I deleted him from my Facebook, I deleted his number off my phone. And you know, he texted me hating stuff like fuck you and blah blah blah. I'm gonna get you violated by your homies and blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, I'm at peace because I'm
Right.
better than myself and I'm not on that old mindset. And like a lot of people, it's gonna be tough because people don't want to be by themselves or people don't want to feel like they don't got nobody. But I'm telling you, man, disassociate yourself from your old associates and females you used to mess with because if you go back, you're gonna go back to that old way of thinking and you're gonna make the same mistakes that you made before you went in.
Yes, sir. Man, wise words. Wise words from T, man. It's the boy right there. Let's go. T, you got any I'm gonna let you go right now because it's late, bro. It's 11 where you're at. But you don't sleep. Huh? You don't sleep, you said. um for the youth, I love talking about the youth because that's where it starts. Those that are dealing with mental you know, the mental health issue, relationships with their father and mother, not too good, in and out of jail at a young age, no guidance in life, no father figure. You got a word for those? Some advice?
Look, this is the best advice I can give you. Nobody owes you anything, first of all. And second of all, redirect that energy into something positive. Like, don't direct the energy trying to hurt those people physically or like texting them like fuck you or like waking up every day mad. Like, this is how you kill a person. One, ignore those people. Two, be successful. Three, post all your success on your social media and just live a good life. I'm telling you, that's gonna kill a person worse than you text them telling them you hurt them. Like just ignore them. Just be successful and do what you do, and that's gonna kill them softly. Because every day they gonna have to click on your social media, looking at your page, seeing that you happy without them and that you made it without them. And that's
Right.
what I man, my co-defendant, he's clicking on my page every day. Every day I look at my stories, I see his little screen name on my looking at my stories, and I laugh
Yeah.
because he miserable. He's
Right.
still doing the same stuff he was doing in 2009 and 2021, wondering why he getting the same results. And I'm not saying I'm better than him. I'm not saying that like I'm having more success than him,
I
but I
understand.
know I'm happy in life. I'm at
Right.
peace at life. And I'm happy and at peace because I figured out I got to let all that negative energy that I had before and all that hate and pain, I had to let it go. And as when I
Absolutely.
learned to let it go, I learned how to be at peace with myself. And that's like the person that you're seeing right now, like a person that's actually at peace with himself.
Absolutely. AT, you like where you're at right now, brother?
I'm happy where I'm
Mental,
at right now
mental. Right.
mentally. I wish that I was I wish I had this mindset when I was 16 years old. Because if I would have had this mindset when I was in high school, man, like my whole life would be like totally different. But you got to make mistakes
Yeah.
and go through pain to learn and find yourself. And out of everything that happened, I'm happy that I found my woman because without going through all this, I would have never found her. So those 8 years in prison, man, I'll do that again if it means meeting her because at the end of the day, mission accomplished. I'm happy.
Absolutely, brother, man. That puts a smile on my face, man. That's dedication right there. Um, Salute for sure. Shoot, man. T, bro, you laid it down. Everything you hit, you laid it down, man. I want to get you on here again. Are you kind of busy throughout the? You said you're busy throughout the day, right? And then you're kind of
Like
good weekend.
whenever you need me, bro, just do exactly what you did last time, bro. Shoot me that link when we get off this chat. I'm gonna send you my personal number. That way you
Okay,
can
for sure.
text me,
Yeah.
and we can get locked in. And whenever you need me, or you want to talk, or you want to bring me in, we can
Let's
do
do
that.
it, bro. Yeah, I want to keep. Yeah, man, I want to keep talking to you for real because we're gonna stay in contact for sure. That's no doubt. I'm gonna get you on Instagram too as well, and we could even do like some Instagram lives and all that good stuff. But I also got some real ones on my page too that have been in the system, and they're like legit OGs, and they're like real. Um, that would connect with you. You know what I mean? That are successful now. Um, and they're not like no burner, no burner, none of that, not even close to it. You know what I mean? And I respect what you do, man. I honestly respect what you do, putting those people on blast. You know what I mean? Because it's disrespect. It's disrespect to you, and it's disrespect to those that are in prison right now, um, living the life that they are living right now. You know what I mean? In the conditions and stuff. Because it's hard, bro. But man, brother, I appreciate you for really coming on here. Yeah, hit me up in the TikTok messages. I'm for sure gonna have you on again. That's no doubt. I just been super busy. Um, I'm gonna edit this up and I'm gonna post it up. But I'll hit you with some clarifications beforehand, just on some respect issues of what I can title it. Because I'll put in your description. I'll put the description of like how many years you did or whatever, and then what you're doing now. Because I don't like to talk about so much about like prison and the negativity. I always like to shine the light, the positivity about how you influence others, you influence the youth, you influence the prison community, you're just positive. You know what I mean? And how you transitioned from that person years ago, and then the person you are today. You know what I mean? You dealt with adversity, etc., whatever. You already know. But
Yes,
I'm gonna add that all in the description. But man, bro, it's truly an honor for real, and I appreciate you. It's late over there. I know. I got an hour. I was blessed to have an hour and 30 with you, brother.
no doubt.
Yes, sir. All right. Hey T, hit me up in the messages right now, brother.
All right, that's a bet, bro. I'm gonna hit you with that number right now.
Salute, brother. Have a good one, bro. Be
All
safe,
right,
all
be
right?
safe, bro. Be
All right.
safe.
Thank you. Have a good one, bro.